Shel. My name is Shel Anderson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Tonight we are going to be making 3 cards using a new bundle. It is called oh boy, don't remember the name of the bundle. I think it's called the Submarine Life Bundle. It has this really super cute stamp set and a coordinating punch. I love that punches make it so simple. I've also used the largest circle from the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm also going to be using the cloud punch. And this is for the 3 cards. My ink colors are Granny Apple Green, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Boho Blue, and Blueberry Bushel, along with the ever-present Memento Black. I have also pulled some different gems. I don't know which ones I'm going to use. I will tell you once I make that decision. I just wanted to have them out here and have them ready. And I've pre-cut my 3 cards. We're going to be making a fun fold, which I will save for last. And just to change things up a bit, I am going to I am laughing at Carol's comment. I am going to be making 2 square cards. We haven't made square cards in a long time, so I thought today is the day. All right, so we're going to do this one first just because it was on top. And I have all my bits and pieces. This piece of DSP is from the Daisy, Fresh as a Daisy DSP. I have Blueberry Bushel, Basic White, and I have pre-stamped my Submarine and my Greeting. Pumpkin Pie, Basic Black, Granny Apple Green, and Blueberry Bushel. All right, so I do want to show you something though, because I did my stamping to make it shorter, the video shorter. What I did is I took my punch and I put it in here and I punched it out, which gave me a template, okay? So then I take my template and I would put this cardstock underneath, okay? Then I put my template on top. I lay my stamp, put my magnet on, put my stamps in these cutouts, close my gate, pick up the stamps, and then they're all lined up, so we should be able to punch these out all at the same time. And I'm going to keep this template in my stamp case for next time. And that's how I did every one of these. Trying to make things as easy as possible. Okay, so speaking of punching, let's punch this guy out. And that should line up there, just like so. And you'll notice I didn't do the periscope on this one, and that's because this is not going to be a submarine. And you'll notice that I did stamp this little green flag. I'm going to fussy cut this because it's not part of the punch, but as you can see, it's super, super easy to fussy cut. And I'm just thinking there's another template right there that I can keep to use as well. All right, there is those bits. Now with this greeting, I'm going to fussy cut it. And I think I'm going to use longer shears because I can get straighter lines when I use longer shears. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not, but I was going to use a bunch of different products like for each card tonight, but I didn't get home from work till 20 after 5 and I had absolutely nothing planned, so I decided to stick with just one product tonight and make 3 cards using one product, just to simplify a bit and make my life easier. Okay, our card base is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4 to give us a square card. And that's in basic white. Then this is an 1/8 smaller and an 1/8 smaller. Now, I'm not going to give you all the measurements tonight because they're going to be on my blog post. So you can grab them there. Probably be tomorrow before it gets there, to be honest, because I haven't even had supper yet. So there we go. So that kind of looks like sky to me. Could be sky, could be water. And this one, this is a very simple card. Just changed it up a bit by making it square instead of rectangular. All right, now, remember I said that we had this cloud punch and I was going to punch some clouds? I don't know whether this one's going to be big enough. We'll try it. Maybe. Let's try this one. It's a little bigger and gives me a little more to grab onto. I need 2 clouds. So there's one. There's 2. Let's do 3 just to say we have an extra. All right, so my submarine is going to become a hot air balloon. You know, one of those blimpy things? So this is my plan for the submarine. It's going to become one of those blimps. How cool is that? That's why I needed clouds. Now, I could have very easily stamped my greeting on there, floating by, just to say hi. Pretty cool, eh? All right, I am going to glue the clouds. I'm just going to lift the submarine. Yeah, I guess it is a submarine, but I'm using it as a blimp. I'm going to glue these clouds flat. Just like so. And I might flip this one around so it doesn't look so matchy-matchy. Like so. All right, these greetings I am going to glue flat as well. go. Now we need some dimensionals. And we're going to pop these on the back of our blimp. Remove those paper backings and make sure that I have it going in the right direction so it doesn't look like there's a submarine in the sky. I'm going to have it down close to that cloud. Now this I am going to glue flat so I can tuck it underneath. Like so. And the same with my flag. I don't think I need tweezers for this job. There we go. Just like so. Floating by just to say hi. How cute is that? Simple, very, very simple. And I put the fold on the top this time just to change it up, because I like a side fold, but seeing as we were going to switch things around, I thought I'd try that. Now, on this one, I think I'm not going to put any gems on this one. I'm going to leave this one just plain. Okay, so I'm going to set that one aside, clean up a little bit, and we're going to move on to card number 2. All right, here we go. This one is also a square card. And I have a few little bits and bobs for this one. Same size card base as before, basic white. And I took this DSP from the Let's Go Fishing. I thought that looked like water. So that's what I was going for there. Now, I need your opinion. I am going to have the submarine on here in the water. So this is going to go on my card front. What is your opinion? My husband and I were talking about this. I'm going to pop this piece up on dimensionals, so this one will be behind it a little bit. Do I leave it like so? Or, are you ready for this? Do I change the background like so? So do I leave the background horizontal or vertical like this? Pop your opinion in the comments and let me know what you think. And while you're putting your opinion in there, I will get some dimensionals on the framework. Alright, use some of these edges. This is a perfect place for these. And I'm going to do the same here. You like the wonky. Okay, Carol, we liked the wonky too. So, wonky it is, my friend, wonky it is. it kind of gives it just a little bit of contrast too, which is what I liked. All right, so I hope I've got this well supported, because this is just DSP after all. Let's see if I can get this on here without having my head stuck completely in the camera. Oh, I think we're stuck. There we go. Let's get this off here. Whoa, that's quite a wrestle. There we go. That'll do. That will do. I think I'm going to trim a little bit off one side if I can find my paper trimmer. I'll just take this off camera for a second and take a little slice off it. And I can't because it's the top of the card. That's the top of the card. So we're going to have to live with that. All right. Now, where is my punch? We're going to punch out our submarine. And something like this. There's our bits. And once again, I am going to crop out happy birthday, but I think this time I'm going to leave the words together. There we go. All right, now this guy gets glued through the hole. Like so. There we go. And next up, I have these strips that I need to cut shorter. Let me measure this. This is 4 inches. I need to cut these down to 4 inches. Just bring in my mini paper trimmer. And we will trim these off. I thought I'd make a little framework. Around the border. Just to bring in the yellow color a little bit more. And if you're wondering what color this is, it is Daffodil Delight. All right, so I'm thinking I'm going to do something, oops, like this. Is my thought. Now we'll see what happens here. Now we have a submarine and a propeller and a periscope that's going to go up here like so. Yep, I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, let's start with one of these. And we'll glue it in place and just work our way around. And I just want to come in just halfway between here and there. And then we'll do the same at the top. Dump those off for a minute. About halfway, so our borders match. And then the other two we will put down the sides. And the same thing, about halfway. By using the Tombow, that's going to give me just that little smidge of wiggle room that I need. Oops. There we go. Now I'm all glue covered. Fingers are sticking to everything. All right, there we go. Now, before I go any further, I am going to bring in the 23 to 25 in colored dots. And I think this is a perfect place to get those big ones used up. I have a hard time, I don't know about you, but some of the embellishments, especially the large ones, I have a hard time with because I find sometimes they're just too big. But in this case, this is perfect place to use the large ones. Yes, I'm breaking my rule. I'm putting an even amount on. I always either do 3 or 5. Okay, so there we go. Once again, we need dimensionals on the back of our submarine. And pop that in place. And where's those tweezers? I think I'm going to need them. And we'll put some adhesive on our propeller. And pop that in place. And the last thing is, oh, that didn't punch out very well. I have a lot of extra white space. I'm going to trim that off. There we go. That looks better. Now we need our periscope glued on. There we have it. And the last thing is our birthday greeting. They're sticking to my fingers. My fingers are so sticky. And I'm just going to put, where do I want this? No, I think I'm going to put it on a little angle up here. There we go. Let's get rid of some of this garbage. see what we have. And there is our second card. Another super simple, super cute card, but they're square, so that makes them a little more fun. All right, are we ready? We are going to do our fun fold, if I can find it. Oh, here we go. Right in front of me. This is a fun fold that I discovered that I have never seen before. So, trying to figure it out, I made a template out of paper. This is just colored computer paper. So, basically, it has 3 panels to the card. But if you notice, I'll fold this back, you see how it has these angles? So, I figured it out, and I've marked my instructions, and we're going to do it together. So, let's get the DSP out of the way and our submarine out of the way, and we're just going to work on the 3 card panels. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the measurements and what I did. This is 5.5 by 5.5 scored at 1 1/4. Okay, this is 5.5 by 3 3/4 scored at 1 1/4. This is 4.5 by 2 scored at 1 1/4. Okay, we're going to take this one and set it aside. We're just going to be working on these 2 panels. And what we need to do is to get a pencil and a ruler, and we are going to make a pencil mark 1 3/4 inches down from the top of both of these pieces of paper. So 1 3/4 inches, and I'm going to make a mark. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. Oops, sorry, don't know what I was doing there. 1 3/4 inches, and I'm going to make a mark. Now we're going to bring in our paper trimmer, and I'm going to cut from that tick mark to the top where the score line is. Okay, so I'm going to put my score line right on the edge here, and I'm going to hold it there, and I'm going to rotate until that tick mark is to the edge, and then I'm going to slice it off. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Get my score line and my tick mark and cut them off. Pretty easy, right? Now, if you have a little mark there that you don't want, just grab your eraser and erase it off. That's the hardest part of this card. Not very hard, right? Okay, now this card is going to fold inward. All right, so that slant folds inward. Make sure I get it going right here. That one folds inward, and then this one, it just folds inward too. Just make sure your score lines are nice and straight. So now what we're going to do is we are going to glue these 3 panels together. And you don't want to go any higher than here because you don't want your glue to show. Make sure it's flush at the bottom and on your edges. Okay. I see I have a little bit of overhang here, so I didn't cut that one quite right, but I have the tool to fix that, and I'm going to do it right now while I have just the one layer. I'll just shave off that wee little bit. Now everything's nice and flush, and we will continue on, and this guy gets glued on here like so. Just like so. So on this one, we can put the glue on this tab because this tab is the same size as that tab. So like I said, don't worry about measurements. I'll have all these measurements in the blog post for you. Make sure it's flush to the bottom. All right, we'll just give that a press. Give these all another good burnish. And there is our card base. Easy peasy. We got this. All right, now what did I do with all my bits? Okay, this is from the Bright and Beautiful, all this DSP. I wanted clouds, so I found this cloud paper, and I just cut it 1/8 of an inch smaller. So we are going to glue this to the inside panel, but once we get this glued in here, when the card is closed, you're only going to see the top part, so that looks like sky, right? And then we are going to put this one on here like so. It's going to look like water, and so on. But before we do that, I want to grab another stamp in this set. There is a wave stamp. I'm going to put some waves in here, just to add a little something something to it. So I'm going to grab this and grab a block. And there we go. I think that boho blue will probably work on here. I have a little piece of scrap. I want to try it on the scrap first just to make sure. I don't want to mess it up. Oh yes, that's going to be fine. All right, so we are going to do some waves, my friends. No rhyme or reason as to why I'm doing it this way. I'm just plumping on some waves. There we go. There's one. The paper is a wee bit wider than my stamp, so that's why I'm doubling up here. More. 2 more. There we go. That will do, my friends. Now I have to clean up my mess because I have got ink everywhere. There we go. All right. Now we get to put this together. Bring the card back in and get some adhesive on the back side. And just think how many different applications we could use this fold in. Could see this in Christmas cards. Oh, I have to glue this panel to here as well. If I can get some glue to come out. There we go. Because you want it to open as one unit. There we go. And then we will glue some more water down here below. Just like so. And now you can really see the pattern of those angles, eh? All right. Now we need to bring our punch back in and punch out our submarine. This one is not going to line up. I must not have had this one in correctly. So I'm going to snip off the periscope because that's what's not lining up. I must not have had it in my template correctly. And punch that out. And then we will attempt to line this up. There we go. That works better. All right. Now I found this left over in my bits box. It's from the Radiating Stitches die set. I'm just going to use that to put on the inside panel and hide it behind these front two panels so that we have a nice place to write our greeting. And you won't see that at all from the outside. Okay. Now here on this one we are going to put our submarine, and I'm going to glue this one flat. And I'm just going to leave a little room here and here so I can tuck these other pieces under where they need to go. So I should be able to just lift the edge of that and tuck. You know what? I put adhesive on the back of that periscope and I should not have, because what's going to happen is I'm going to stick it. Bear with me a second. I'm going to glue that to the white cardstock and punch it again, because I had adhesive on the back side and it just was going to be a nightmare. And we don't need a nightmare. So this way, I'll get a do-over. And the bonus is that this piece is going to be a little bit more sturdy because it's 2 layers. All right, let's try this again. Just lift this up and tuck this under like so. There we go. And then our propeller. Just tucks under the back end like so. All right, so far so good. Now I have a greeting. I'm going to grab my long-handled shears again. This one says, "Sending oceans of love." And hopefully I can get some semblance of straight on this one, because it's pretty long. And this greeting, I am going to, where's my dimensionals? I'm going to cut a little strip off here. And we're going to put it on a dimensional. And we're going to pop this right in the middle of the waves. Now, in this stamp set, there are some super, super cute, whimsical little images. We have plants. There's little fish. There's a little crab, a starfish, another fish, a jellyfish, all kinds of cute little images. I think that I am going to put some fish and some bubbles, just to add a little something to it. All right, let's see if I can find a couple of little blocks. The only thing I'm not sure of is what color to do my fish, because I don't really want them blue. Why don't I do my fish in the dark blue? That might be okay. And I'm going to open the card so it's nice and flat. Do a little test stamp. Yeah, I think those will be fine. All right. Super cute. There we go. That makes me happy. Now our bubbles are going to have to be, I would think, in a gray, like smoky slate. Where's that test paper? Let's try that out before we put it on our card. I don't know, that might be a little dark. Let's try gray granite. Clean that off. Yes, I like that better. It's not as obvious. There we go. I'm happy with that. So we just have a cute little scene peeking from behind. We've got the sky up above, the submarine down below. Now, we need a little bling. What do we need? Don't like those ones. Let's use some of these little teeny tiny ombre dots, and we can put those in some of these air bubbles. Right there. There we go. This is definitely a cutesy stamp set. Kind of puts a smile on my face. All right, let me clear out some of this junk so that we can see what's happening. My friends. All right, here is our fun fold, and I don't even know what it's called. I'm going to call it a triple flip. How's that? And just think of all the different ways you could make this. This could be for anything. All you need is DSP, and we all have tons of that. So there is our fun fold. Then we had our square card, the happy birthday. And then our blimp floating by just to say hi. So that is it for tonight. I see a little bit of glue peeking out here. Let's grab this eraser. I somehow managed to get a little seepage. That glue eraser took care of it. There we go. All right, my friends, that is our 3 cards for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this, and I love giving you these little sneak peeks into the new catalog. I will be back here. I won't be here on Sunday this week because of the holiday, but I will be back next Wednesday night at 7 to share something else with you. Have a very happy holiday, and I hope you're surrounded by family and friends. Bye-bye.